Okay. Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learned in the progression from it to the full product? Okay, I've certainly improved in skills. Before I filmed my opening sequence, I had, no idea how to film anything. I never picked up a camera before. I didn't know what a tripod was, if I'm totally honest. I looked like the shoulder mount just looked like, something. Well, the boys play with it like it's a gun, I didn't know what any of this stuff was. So I've gone from not even knowing what it was to how to use it, and how to use it, in my opinion, really well. Like, some of the shots in our opening sequence I just think are so amazing, and I'm so proud of myself from coming from not knowing anything to having all of these skills in using cameras, and I just think that's a really good thing to have. Communication as well has definitely improved for me. Before this, I was very, well, I'm still am last minute, but I was very, I didn't like communicating with people. I like doing things on my own. No one had to know what I was doing because I was working on my own. Whereas this, we were in teams. We had partners. They had to know what we were doing, like, all the time. And yeah, I had to have constant communication between my media teachers, so they knew what camera equipment we needed out and when we needed it out. I needed constant communication between our actors, because it wasn't like we were just using friends. We were using professional actors, so we had to be professional ourselves and have effective communication between us. Yeah. I had to have, definitely, the main person I had communication with was definitely Ray. As obviously we were working as a team, so constant communication between each other. What needs to be done? Do you like this? Do you like that? Throwing back ideas at each other, back and forth, coming up with compromises, improving things together. If one of us has done something that the others doesn't like, we'll think of ways to improve it together. Like, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Because it's both of ours. It's not one or the others. It has to have both of our input in. So communication to get that was very important. Media knowledge. I have learned so much about how the industry works, especially independent industry. How to just going to Paris Film Festival has taught me so much about how independent films are distributed, how they're financed, how you can get good actors, how to attract the audience's attention by, having a great storyline, having well-known actors, So I've learned a lot about how all that industry works, which is good. It's what I needed. It's the understanding I needed to know what to put into my opening sequence in order to attract my audience. Otherwise, I wouldn't, if I hadn't have attracted an audience, what would be the point of my opening sequence? My opening sequence would have failed, because there's no point making a film if no one wants to watch it. Improved media technology, definitely. Like I said, like before I started, I had no idea what hardly any of these cameras were, and now I've gone from that to, being able to use them, and not just using them in an amateur way. We had to learn how to use them in a professional way, because on the filming set, me and Ray were around professional actors. We couldn't show ourselves up by not knowing how to use this equipment. We had to be taught how to use it properly. We had to be taught how to set it up properly. So it's not just us knowing how to do it. It's, we're representing ourselves as professional producers, professional directors, professional, like director of photography, we had to have that element in there. And personally, I think we did have that element in there. So in evaluation to that, I have learned so much this year, and I think you can really see the progression from that on my Tumblr account, and which I hope you can anyway, because this has been a really good learning path for me.